Yeah, it's been a pretty good weekend. And we're here again doing this. Something I always look forward to. But really looking forward to WrestleMania tomorrow, man. It's going to be epic.
What do you mean tomorrow?
WrestleMania tomorrow.
WrestleMania was last night.
What?
It's Monday.
No, it's Sunday.
No, it was Sunday yesterday. WrestleMania was last night. What are you doing?
Just no!
Hi guys, welcome to Rock and Roll Nerds, and we're now going to do a review on WWE's WrestleMania 31.
Yes!
Yeah! And today, our review is sponsored by Fridge. Get the milk in your gob.
No better place to start than the start. Or technically the pre-show, which is it's the start. The pre-show was actually awesome. Yeah, I'm really glad I didn't miss it.
We didn't think it was going to be.
No, because pre-shows are always like, you know, the matches that are good, but they're not quality match card kind of things. But it was really good.
We should just say quickly before we carry on, this is probably going to be quite a long review. So we're going to stagger it and put points and everything. So if there's any ones you don't want to listen to and you skip ahead, you do that, because we'll try and keep it short and sweet as we can, but we're excited.
I'm the wrestling guy. I could talk about it for days.
So anyway, pre-show tag match.
Yeah, so if you're not interested in the pre-show, just skip ahead. But anyway, first match was the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE Tag Team Championship between Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, Los Matadores, Usos, and a New Day. Or it was Big E.
Two of the New Day. Two of the three.
Yeah, I think Big E and Kofi.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But unfortunately, I think it was Jimmy Uso was obviously injured before the match began. So they eliminated him real quickly with an injury when he was thrown near the commentator table and was taken off. But so one Uso fought quite valiantly.
He did quite well, by himself.
The whole match was just awesome. You know, Cesaro's awesome anyway. Tyson Kidd's very underrated. And the other tag teams have kind of put themselves on the map. Are going,
They all did really well.
Yeah,
they just played off each other so well. There was just loads of flavour. There was loads of fun. And it was just, again, the fact that we didn't think this was going to be a great match, just thought it was going to be a throwaway match. Yeah. Ended up being an amazing start to a pay-per-view.
It just got the ball rolling straight away. Everyone was pumped from it. And so, when you're that pumped for, during a pre-show, WrestleMania just seems so much more spectacular, like an hour beforehand, to go, if this is how awesome it's going to be, yeah. So,
my favourite bit was probably the 6-man suplex off the side of the rope. They kind of
one side of the ring.
They kind of just all locked together and everything, and a Big E and Cesaro, and then all piling on top of each other, and then just fucking suplexed everyone over onto the ground. It's freaking awesome.
The tag team, it won't really change anything in the tag team division. The only thing it has proved is that there is a lot of good talent in the tag team division.
Yeah, you just need to push it.
Yeah, and with events like WrestleMania, whether it be the pre-show or not, people will always step up their game and step up to the plate and go, we're at WrestleMania, we're going to make impact. And they did. It was really good.
And obviously at the end of it, Cesaro and Tyson Kidd retained.
Which I liked.
Which is fine. That's what I want. Because out of the four teams, they're the ones we want to go with at the moment. They're both ones that they both need a push. They're both really talented. And if this is the push they're going to get them bigger, then fair enough. We need to keep them in the tag team division at the moment. Yeah. Until they're ready to branch out.
Another thing I will say, my voice might sound a bit croaky because we did watch this last night and I yelled through the whole thing.
Yeah, we screamed a lot.
Yeah, we can. It wasn't like we were at home. There's an event which I'll touch on a little bit later perhaps. But anyway, next match was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yes, which was moved to the pre-show. Originally it was on the main show, pre-show, which I thought was a bit stupid, but it was good.
Yeah, it happened.
It happened. It was it was good. It was fun. The only real thing that kind of happened that was fun is that Miz and Mizdow broke up. Miz kept telling him what to do, and it's down to basically it got down to them two and Big Show. Show was standing there for a while. They started having an argument, and Mizdow was like, "No, I'm not doing what you tell me." And Mizdow goes in to go against Big Show, and then Mizdow just grabs him and chucks him over the rope and just basically stops him from getting back in the ring.
Bye, Miz.
And then it was like, it was Mizdow's show. I was like, oh god, this is it. Mizdow's going to do it.
He's going to do the impossible.
It's going to be amazing. And for at least 3 times I thought he was going to do it, and then right at the very last moment, Show knocked him out.
Just picked him up and threw him out. That was it.
Which is a shame, because I think Mizdow should have won it personally. But you know, fair enough. You know, I mean, he did really well. He still got a reasonable push from it.
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to the rivalry between him and Miz now.
Oh, yeah,
I'd like to see him come out to Raw and just go, "You're welcome," and be back to Damien Sandow.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of them where I think last year it was meant to be the push for Cesaro, but they kind of just gave up on that quite quick. But with the Big Show winning, it seems a little bit like to go, yes, Andre the Giant, as legendary he is, was the icon, the big guy. But Big Show's the new giant now. But everybody knew that. He didn't really need the Memorial Battle Royal.
Yes, the thing, yeah.
To
It's
win
like, yeah,
that.
we know he's the big giant and everything. It's kind of like a sentimental thing between him and Andre. But it's just like, well,
The passing of the
does
torch.
he really need it?
Yeah, well, he's already established himself as a legend.
Yeah.
But again, it was Big Show had never won a battle royal at that point, which is crazy when you see his size and stuff. So it's like, we'll give him this. We'll give him a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, Miz was the main story plot.
Yeah, I remember Kurt Angle being the first one being chucked out.
Yeah.
Everybody just picked him up and threw him out. It's funny.
Yeah.
Axelmania's over.
The only other interesting thing is a lot of the guys who were in the Tag Fatal 4-Way were also in the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
And Cesaro body slammed Kane over the top rope this year, and he looked like he was going to do it again to the Big Show, but Show was kind of like, I'm not having this.
Yeah.
And I think he eliminated him. Was it knockout punch or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but Cesaro got eliminated either way, obviously.
But yeah, so that was the Royale and Big Show won.
Pre-show over.
Yes.
Let's go to the main stuff.
So the first match that we got, which was a hell of a match to kick off the official show, was the Intercontinental title ladder match.
Awesome match.
And it was freaking awesome. Obviously, you had Daniel Bryan, Bad News Barrett, R-Truth, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, Stardust, and Luke Harper. 7 people. Ladder match, title at the top. You know the draw. It lived up to it.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it was because of the people who were involved. I kind of expected a little bit more, but it wasn't disappointing at all. I mean, I don't really remember Stardust and R-Truth actually doing that much in it. They didn't.
There's a few bits. Yeah, there's a few bits of it going on, but the people that dominated mainly were Bryan, Ziggler, Ambrose, and then obviously I think Barrett had a couple of spots.
Well, Harper did as well. I mean, there's a bit where Barrett went on a bullhammer rampage. Harper's suicide dives. He was the only one who looked. Well, the first to get injured, I saw a huge cut down his arm.
Yeah.
Dean, I'll be surprised if he's walking today.
Yeah, he got thrown, basically a powerbomb,
Over the top
rope and into a ladder, and the ladder split in half, and he basically landed on his head.
Yeah, it landed on the back of his neck.
So, yeah.
He didn't get back up after that.
Yeah, that was it. As soon as that happened, I even turned to him and went, Ambrose is out.
Yeah, he's gone.
I was like, he ain't getting it now, and he didn't get back up, so I was just like, if he's on Raw, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, battered and bruised if he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it ended up just both Ziggler and Bryan at the top of one ladder, headbutting each other.
Yeah, literally like fiercely headbutting.
Bang, 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 bang.
Until finally Ziggler fell to the floor and Mr. Daniel Bryan climbed to the top and took the IC belt for the first time. And he's the second ever Grand Slam winner.
Yeah. I think it's second ever. Yeah, it would be if I was going to say Owen Hart did, but he was never champion. So, Shawn Michaels being the first, Bryan now being the second. He's held every major belt the WWE has to offer, apart from the Divas, obviously. Let's not get stupid.
Yeah.
So, new Intercontinental champion, Daniel Bryan.
Yes!
Awesome.
But yes, it was a good match. Really enjoyed it. Good starter.
Follow-up was 2 of the best wrestlers on the roster at the minute. The Viper Randy Orton versus Mr. Money in the Bank.
Seth Rollins. This match we thought, not necessarily going to be a throwaway match, but just a standard match, and that's what we thought it was going to be.
Good wrestling. Yeah,
just a good wrestling match, and it was just so much better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to be good anyway, but they still said that even though there was nothing on the line, it was just a standard match, there was no stipulations.
It was a personal rivalry.
Yeah, there's just a personal rivalry, and they just did it well, and it was just... it just blow after blow, exchanging really good, you know, the way they just deliver their fight is just really good. They're just both really good at their craft.
Yeah.
And it was a great match. It really was. J&J Security tried to get involved a couple of times. Orton wasn't having any of that.
Yeah. It was weird not weird, I shouldn't have said that, but it's, even though, just to spoil things ahead of time, Randy Orton won, but it wasn't a passing of the torch per se, because Randy won, but it was kind of like Seth stepping up to the plate, going like, and Randy kind of going, "If you can go with me, kid, you are the future." Yeah. And he went with it.
He did well.
Yeah, I mean, last year with the Memorial Battle Royal, when it got to Cesaro and Big Show, everyone expected the swing, and Cesaro surprised us with just picking Big Show up and throwing him over the top rope. This year, a lot of us were expecting Seth to do his Phoenix Splash that he did at Royal Rumble.
He tried.
Yeah, and Orton to catch him in the RKO. Would have been cool, but what happened was just as cool and just as shocking.
Well, honestly,
oh my god.
When it happened,
it was like, what just happened?
I saw it and just like, best one ever. As far as I'm concerned, it's the best one he's done.
Yeah. Take it away.
What happened? It basically went into Seth was going for a curb stomp, and as he went and jumped and put his foot down on Orton, Orton popped up, pushed him into the air
by his head,
and as he went up, he turned it into an RKO and dropped him to the floor. And I was like, fuck me, what have we just seen?
Game over.
I was like, even Orton was like, yeah, I fucking took you down, and then he pinned him, and that was it. Yeah. Jesus Christ, it was one of the best RKOs I have ever seen.
Yeah, it was one of them where it could have just gone, you know, up, RKO, and Orton straight into the cover. But I think even at that point, Orton was there like, who's the man? I'm the man, you're owned, 1, 2, 3, game over.
Yeah, and that was a good way to go out.
Yeah.
Christ, you didn't see it coming. We honestly thought Seth's going to win.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to curb stomp him, pin him, and that's going to be it, and he's going to be the future.
Yeah.
And no, it just out of nowhere just popped to RKO down, and that was it.
I think
awesome.
Wrestling quality-wise, I mean, every match is good for their own, you know, little moments. But for the craft itself, Orton, Seth, and probably the tag team match are on par as just purely good wrestling.
Yeah.
Love the stories.
Just good at their craft.
Yeah, and that stole the show as a wrestling match at WrestleMania, I think.
It was a great match.
Very good match. Very good match.
Next, a little bit earlier on the card than we assumed, was Sting versus Triple H.
Yeah.
Now, we were all not sure what was going to go on with this match, but we were all very looking forward to it because obviously it's first time Sting in the WWE WrestleMania, first match he's ever done in WWE, and it was good.
Impact was made straight away with the entrances.
Yeah, the entrances were awesome. Obviously, you got your Sting.
Entrance Japanese guys,
all
with
these
makeup,
drums and everything. It was cool. Then you had Triple H come out to the Terminator music that went into his own, dressed as a Terminator with all the Terminators around him, because obviously the pay-per-view was sponsored by Terminator. But yeah, that was a great entrance.
Yeah, even Arnie got involved.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't there. Well, he was
on the screen.
Yeah,
satellite.
he was there for like the Hall of Fame, kind of like, yeah, here's the Hall of Fame. But he was just kind of like, yeah, I'm a Triple H guy kind of thing.
Yeah, but the match was just incredible. Like I say, not the best match I've ever seen, but it was a good, solid match.
It's because of the incidents that happened.
Yeah, they were just two powerhouses, and it was just really good exchanging back and forth and everything. Really enjoyed it, and it's just things that happened that we just didn't expect would happen. It looked like that Sting was about to win it.
Yeah, the Scorpion Deathlock in.
Yeah, and it looked like he was about to have him. And then DX music hit.
Yeah.
And DX came out. And,
New Age Outlaws and X-Pac legged it
to the ring, started helping out Triple H, or attempting to.
Yeah.
And then from then on we're like, right, that's it. Then they're gonna fuck him up, and Triple H is gonna win.
Yeah.
With the
but it suddenly became no DQ for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
And then one of our other friends turned to me and goes, NWO. I was like, fuck, don't be stupid. I was like, that ain't gonna happen. And he was right. It happened. As like the NWO came out, Kevin Nash, Hogan, Scott Hall.
Oh, it was one of them where, even though in a previous promo Sting had said, I'm not fighting for the pride of WCW, there's no point now, they've been gone about 14 years now. But it wasn't just DX versus NWO as in these two factions meeting for the first time. It was WWE versus WCW again.
Yeah, and
like the Monday Night Wars were back.
They kind of got involved with each other and everything, but then it basically went back to Triple H and Sting in the ring, and they basically just stood around by the side and just made sure that the other one didn't screw the other one over, kind of thing. It was kind of, and then out of nowhere, a little man with a cap and some long hair and a bit of sweet chin music appeared and fucking kicked Sting in the face.
Shocked me.
I did not expect Sean to be there. I really didn't. He literally appeared. His music didn't even hit. He just appeared out of nowhere.
He didn't even say anything either.
He didn't. He just popped up and I went, "Fuck me, that's Sean." Sweet chin music. I was like, "You not."
I thought it was over, and Sting just rolled his shoulder up, and things just started getting. Obviously NWO and DX still having a little bit of outside.
Then the sledgehammer came out. Then obviously Hogan passed Sting the baseball bat. He broke the sledgehammer in half with the baseball bat, and he was like, "Oh my god." A few more like pedigree, Stinger, that kind of stuff.
He went for the Stinger splash again, I think, and then just out of nowhere, with a little bit of the sledgehammer Triple H had left, just bang,
caught him in the head,
straight into his head, and that was it.
And then that was it, and then Triple H pinned him.
Yeah, Triple H beat Sting in his debut.
Yeah, and again, I was like, it was a great match. Really enjoyed it. It was full of energy, full of shockers, full of awesome stuff. But I still reckon Sting should have won it, personally. I think it's like, why would you have this man come into the WWE for the first time, do all this build-up and everything, and have Triple H win? What does Triple H gain from this, really?
I think it's a way of still kind of saying, always expect the unexpected at WrestleMania. But
that's the only thing you can possibly take from it, really.
Yeah, the bizarre thing was afterwards, DX came in to help Triple H up, NWO for Sting, and they had a bit of a square-off. And then Sting and Triple H shook hands afterwards.
Yeah, and that was it, and that was how it ended. He just walked out.
You'd think that Sting would be a little bit pissed off if Triple H won because he got smacked in the head with a sledgehammer. But it was just like, I did kind of expect maybe an attack afterwards, but it was literally shook hands, turn around, and went separate ways. It was a really weird ending.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I think maybe it was a case of like, right, Sting, that handshake signifies that Sting's in WWE now. Yeah. Whether it's part-time or full-time, I don't know, but
for all we know,
I think that's what it means.
It could have been not even storyline based. It could be a personal, thank you for doing this, thank you for joining WWE, thank you for a good match. We don't know. But a handshake nevertheless. So, yeah, good match.
Absolutely.
We'll take it down a bit now. No offence to these women, but you know how Divas matches go.
Yeah, if you would like to go for a piss break at this point, please do.
Now. I'm tempted to.
Yeah.
I've got to do this.
We'll make this quick. Divas match, title wasn't on the line. It was Paige and AJ versus Bella Twins. Standard match, pretty good. Cut a few moves here and there.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Just a standard match.
But AJ kept getting knocked down every single time she got back up.
Yeah,
she kept, like 3 times in a row. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I was like, she finally got in and got a few moves in and everything, and she ended up being the one to
win
their side of it with the Black Widow. But like I said, the first third of the match, she wasn't even in it.
No,
she kept getting knocked down.
Again, it was nothing. It was one of those matches you'd expect to see on a Monday Night Raw or something like that.
Good match, solid match, but not WrestleMania worthy.
It still proved like some of the divas have been getting annoyed on the flagship shows that they're not getting enough time to do stuff. They had plenty of time tonight.
Yeah, they had plenty of time. It was a good 20-minute match.
Yeah.
But I agree that they should be getting more time and everything, because it's hard to develop a story when you're given 4 minutes.
Yeah.
On a 4-hour show. You know what I mean? Give them 20 minutes.
There wasn't many on the match card when you think about it, because when we heard the Battle Royals in the pre-show as well, it was like, there's only a good 7 or 8 matches, 6 or 7 I think, 6 or 7 matches on the match card, and you've got to cover 4 hours with that, and we knew there was going to be entrances and performances and stuff.
But you could have cut bits and bobs about to give a few more minutes to the girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, fair enough, we understand that WWE is more of a man's world and that it originally was meant to be that, and I know that Vince is a fucking chauvinistic pig when he wants to be, but if you've got the women in there, which they have every right to be in there as much as we do, give them the time. There was a time back in the day where Lita and Trish were headlining a show.
Yeah,
that's how good it was. It's like, why aren't you giving that chance to AJ and Paige? Because they're the Lita and Trish of this generation.
Yeah, agreed.
They are.
Agreed.
And you're not giving them the time.
They are. They're the anti-divas, and it's the time of the anti-divas. And the only thing, they say, no offence to the divas matches at all, but what I took away from that the most was, obviously, Paige is a British-born superstar. So it was great to see someone who's literally maybe 15 miles away from where we are now, or born 15 miles away from where we are now, represent us at WrestleMania. Like Barrett did as well.
Yeah.
But I just felt really happy for Paige that, yep, you got your WrestleMania moment kind of thing.
But, and also, Vince, if you're watching, get rid of the Divas Championship and bring back the Women's Championship.
Yeah, make it legitimate.
The word diva is becoming a fucking joke, especially with the show. Reality show, no, it's shit. As they're not becoming superstars, they're becoming reality stars, and it's rubbish. And this is why I prefer Paige and AJ, because they're actually
they need to wrestle.
They need to wrestle, and I'm sorry, you should be making it the Women's Championship. Still have your Total Divas show if you want to, but get rid of the Divas title shit and make it the Women's show, the Women's title, because it has more credibility.
Yeah, if they were still getting not the Norks out stuff, but doing the brown panties, the bikini stuff,
they're not
fair enough.
Yeah, they're not.
That generation's gone.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but they're not there to entertain you with their good looks and their breasts.
It helps.
Yeah, it helps that they're good looking, but the main reason they're there is because they're meant to be talented people, and you need to give them that chance.
Yeah. So, rant over, Vince.
Yeah.
Watch our show.
Watch it.
Right. Next up.
Yes.
Bit disappointing.
Well, it was a good match. It wasn't too bad. It was Rusev Cena for the US title. Obviously, if you know, Rusev has never been pinned or submitted. Never happened. Obviously, Cena lost in Fastlane. Then he got his rematch, and obviously his rematch at Mania. Entrances were good. I really enjoyed the Russian entrance, and Rusev was on a tank.
That's awesome.
Awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
And the fact that a lot of the Americans were rooting for a fucking Russian person when he's slated the US, said he'd spit on them, you know what I mean? Yet they're still rooting for him. Really does show that no one gives a shit about Cena anymore.
No.
As he's getting to the point now where you need to do something different with him,
because he's done for a heel turn.
Yeah, he's done everything he possibly can do as a face, and for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
It's getting stupid now. It's so repetitive. It's so predictable, and we're getting sick of it. You need to turn this guy heel. Think of the attention you got when fucking Hulk Hogan did it.
Oh man.
He is our Hulk Hogan of this generation. You need to do it for him. If he turns thugonomics and just puts the middle finger up to everybody in the audience. And don't worry about merchandise sales, because you're getting that with people like Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. And you still, you know what I mean? He got loads of merchandise sales, and he was a heel for a long time.
Yeah, it's.
You don't have to worry about it. You haven't got any competition.
It's weird because saying weird again for some reason. There you go. With Hogan, if he's the Hogan of this generation and whatnot, which he kind of is. It's like, well, we can't turn him heel because look at those kids out there in the green. Yeah. It's like, we don't want to break their hearts, don't want to make them cry. You ended the streak last year.
Yeah. That broke our hearts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, just because you're not a child doesn't mean that you can't fucking destroy our childhood.
Yeah, we'd like to be shocked.
I'm sorry, but these kids are growing up now. And most of the kids that are wearing the Cena t-shirts are the ones where the fucking adults have put the t-shirt on them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? All the other ones are fucking growing up now and realising, no, Cena's not the dude. We don't want him. We want someone like Bryan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As you probably guess from this rant.
More and more and more, Cena's not becoming relevant. And I'm sorry, but if you want to make him relevant again, don't give him a fucking title. Give him a heel turn.
Dr. Thugonomics come back.
Exactly. Because I like that character. And we don't like rap, but we like that character.
We don't like. It's a chav character, but it works for John.
It worked.
As you probably guessed by this rant, John Cena won.
Yes, John Cena.
US champion.
He's the US champion. He won. He beat Rusev. It was like I said, it was a standard match. It was pretty good here.
Lana got knocked off.
Yeah, Lana got knocked over. Rusev was looking down and going, "What are you doing?" And then he turned around into an AA, and that was it. Which was kind of weird because I would have liked
a kick out like that.
Yeah, I would have liked at least 2, maybe 3 AAs, really put him through his paces. And so if Cena does win, I go, all right, well at least it was 3 AAs to take him down. And it wasn't. It was 1. Down. It was the first AA he made on him.
Yeah, it was. Again, it's overpowering Cena that 1 AA can finish you. But again, it was a thing Cena didn't need. Why should Cena be the one to be the first to defeat Rusev?
Regardless of what we think of Cena,
I respect him.
Yeah, we respect him because he's a hard worker. He's there every week. But he's made himself one of the biggest stars in the world. You don't need to keep pushing him.
Yeah.
You feel like he's the new boy, the underdog that needs to keep being pushed. It's like, no, you don't. You don't need to come to the end of the week and go, right, what's Cena doing next week? No, you don't. It's like I'm pretty sure he'd be happy taking a back seat.
Yeah.
He needs to not be getting pushed anymore. The only time I'd be happy you giving him a push is if he turned heel.
Yeah.
But it's getting ridiculous now. No one's interested anymore. More people are starting to boo him than cheer him. The fact that people are cheering a Russian to beat him.
Yeah, who was slating their country.
Slating their country. Does that not say anything to you?
Yeah. Like
I don't know you're watching this, but...
Yeah, like Steph said to him a few weeks ago, you aren't... It was meant to be a heel promo by her, but the whole fans were agreeing, like saying, you aren't WWE. The WWE will happily keep going without you, and the fans probably don't even care if you're at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and then
it's like
yeah, we agree.
Yeah, it's like you're not WrestleMania. It's like WrestleMania can continue without John Cena, and it's true. Yeah. It's like you don't need to come to WrestleMania or come to a pay-per-view and go, right, Cena's got to be in a match, a good match, and do this and do that and be awesome and be Super Cena. It's like, no, you fucking don't.
Yeah. If Rusev Cena never happened at WrestleMania last night...
Wouldn't have bothered me.
No, exactly. No one would have cared. The only thing that might have happened is people going, I wish Rusev was on the match card. Yeah. Not John.
Even if they did Rusev Jack Swagger.
Yeah.
I'd have been fine with it.
I'd be happy Swagger's on TV more than John.
If you'd have built up that... You could have built up that rivalry between Steph and Cena, and Steph stops him from being at Mania.
Yeah.
And just had that, and he wasn't at Mania, and he's just sitting on the sidelines and not able to watch.
Yeah, again, their logic
even
is
if
like, for the kids,
well,
for the kids.
Even if he did something like, he was out on the sidelines, then he came in and screwed Rusev out of the match with Swagger or something like that, and then Swagger was pinning him.
A real American with the US title.
Yeah,
makes sense.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
That's not the way they want to do it.
That's not the way to do it.
Let's just be
happy
winning the main event.
Yeah. Just say, let's be happy it was that far down the card as it was, because I thought it was going to be really high. If they put that above fucking Bray and Taker, I would have been pissed off.
Yeah.
But luckily they didn't.
As big as he thinks he is anymore.
No.
So,
he's just not. We just don't care.
Anyway, we'll move
So yeah, rant over. Cena won that one.
Next segment was interesting. Not a match.
It wasn't a match. It was a segment that we didn't see coming at all.
It's not. There wasn't any entrance. It was just. It showed an advert for Extreme Rules or something. And came back to the ring, and Lillian announced, "Please welcome in the ring at this time the Authority."
So Steph and Triple H.
Yeah, and they're babbling on saying
new attendance record, all that kind of stuff.
And basically saying the WWE is nothing without us.
And
not us, the fans, the Authority.
Yeah. So they're going on saying, "We own you. We own the superstars."
As soon as they said we own the millions,
we own the millions. The very next thing you hear was, "If you smell," and everybody went fucking mental. The Rock came out.
Yes, the People's Champion was at WrestleMania, which interesting again because he's been now at 5 WrestleManias in a row, I think, or 6. I can't remember. But confronted Triple H. Like he did a few months ago on the SmackDown anniversary.
But a lot more serious.
Yeah, it was, again, for a brief moment, the Attitude Era was back. And Rock doing what he does best, which is just owning both of them.
Yeah, he was literally just knocking it out of the park. Every single time people were pissing themselves laughing with what he was saying.
Until Steph slapped the taste out of the Rock's mouth, and everyone was like, oh!
And then he backed off, and he got out of the ring, and we were like, what? I was like, is Rock going to walk away?
Yeah.
And then he went round the corner of the ring and spotted someone in the ring, in the sidelines, in the audience.
Yeah, I will apologise because I don't know her last name, but if you know, comment below. It just so happened in the front row was the undefeated women's UFC champion, Ronda, whatever the last name is. And he decided, because he's not going to hit a woman, not in this day and age of WWE anyway.
He's going to get another woman to do it.
Yeah, Right, I'm taking this one because this is my favourite, well, it involves my favourite guy. Bray Wyatt faced the returning Undertaker. Weird thing, they didn't show the build-up promo beforehand, which disappointed me because I always like seeing them. But you think with
we got the Triple H in before.
Yeah, but you think it's a 4-hour show, they're going to squeeze it in. Yeah. But either way, so literally, Bray's music hits, and scarecrows surrounding the ramp, which he brought to life as he walked down to the ring, which is really cool.
Creepy and awesome.
Yeah, obviously it was men in suits. It's not like the...
Sorry kids, they're not real.
Disappointing fact was, because it was in the stadium, it wasn't dark.
Yeah, it was California, so it hadn't gone dark yet.
Yeah.
It was getting there, but it wasn't enough, so the kind of ambience and the kind of feel wasn't there as much.
There was no, like, you know,
Fireflies
the phones for the Wyatt,
Yeah.
which would have been amazing to see, but yeah, it was still good. Bray seemed ready, thunder, lightning, guns go off, and the Undertaker strolled down to the ring, looking much healthier than he did last year.
In his vest top and his leather pants.
Very 2004 look. And Bray, character-wise, looked like, oh, okay, a bit enough more than I can chew here.
Yeah, he kind of tried to look not afraid, but if you look deep into his eyes, you kind of like, yeah,
He's like, oh my god, he's here, kind of thing, you know.
Did I make a mistake?
Yeah, what was interesting as well, Taker's hair is growing back.
Yes.
He's not long haired.
No, short hair, but he's
not bald anymore.
Yeah.
So and it kind of looked. He almost looked a little bit like when he did with the American Badass, with the way his short little, almost a crew cut.
Yeah, a little bit.
Kind of thing. But
anyway, and enough about clothing.
Yeah, we'll talk about the match. It wasn't the greatest match in the world.
No, it was better than last year. It's better than the Lesnar Taker match because that was just sloppy.
Yeah,
this had a bit more pace to it. This had a bit more theatricalness to it.
Yeah.
But overall, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best match by the night by a long shot.
It was more about the presence of both of them.
Yeah, it was the story more than the moves.
Yeah, really. I mean, we saw the typical Taker stuff, old school, and the leg drop. I did notice at one point, rolling back into the ring, he was very tired or very...
Yeah, I looked into his eyes a couple of times and it's kind of like he just looked a bit knackered.
Yeah, well, he's 50 years old, you know, and he's not an immortal. Everyone has their...
Not anymore.
No. But everyone has, you know, he knows and we know he's only got maybe one more match left in him now. If that could have been his last match. He's scheduled to be on Raw tonight. He might announce his retirement. We don't know. But, yeah, he came out, he did his typical moves. Obviously, Bray got a bit of offence in. And it's either really good acting on Taker's part, or it was genuinely, he looked very hurt and very fatigued and stuff. But, you know, he still told Bray to bring it on.
We've got some good bits in it. We've got a couple of
the choke slam.
We've got choke slams. We've got snake eyes. We've got old school.
Well, he did snake eyes, and he went for the boot where Bray just cut threw his body at him.
Just dived at him. Yeah. Knocked him on his ass. One of the favourite bits.
Spider.
Yeah. Bray went for the spider thing, as he always just a little crab
walking
upside down.
God,
no, I don't understand how a man that fat can do that.
Man,
I've never seen a man so bendy.
Spine.
I don't see how you do it. Bray, you amaze me with that.
Yeah, it looks like the shoulders almost dislocate as he does it. It's very weird.
Again, it's creepy and awesome. And the thing we were praying for is for Taker to do his sit-up, which happened, and they locked eyes.
Yeah, and you just see Bray crumble down like, oh fuck.
Oh, shit.
He's up.
We got an Sister Abigail. We got two tombstones.
Yes, kicked out the tombstone. Taker's face was kind of funny. Not the whole usual like, oh, what do I have to do? It was like, oh, what kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which was a bit like, okay, Taker, stop it. Sister Abigail, I thought it was it. Everybody, bar a few people at the table last night, were rooting for Bray. But I'm always going to be for the dead man. I mean,
I rooted for Bray because I felt like it's what needed to happen.
Best for business. And I kind of see, I do see where people are coming from with that. But as a fan of The Undertaker, I'm always going to be in his corner. And I've always said, I don't see why it should be at the expense of the legend of The Undertaker. This just kind of proved that despite his loss last year, he's still the dead man, the phenom kind of thing. So it establishes him as, I'm never going to be, I was going to say shit. He was shit last year.
But he's never going to be great again.
He's always going to be a legend. But I get where the Bray guys are coming from, because they can say, yeah, but he didn't need a victory to prove that. We know he's a legend.
Yeah.
But Bray's got his entire career to become a legend in himself.
Yeah, it's true. It's just, well, obviously, if you haven't realised already, Bray lost.
Mm-hmm.
Second tombstone did him in.
22-1.
But I don't know whether that is 22-1 because they didn't put it up on the Titan or anything. It's kind of like, I think the streak's over and this was just a match.
It wasn't a streak match because Well, it is and it isn't in a way, because it's not an undefeated streak. But, well, no, it wouldn't be a streak. Streak's all in a row, isn't it? But either way, it means he only lost once still at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
22 victories under his belt.
I'm happy that The Undertaker won, but I'm kind of not, because I was rooting for Bray. The reason I'm rooting for Bray was because I think it's getting to the point now where we've got to realise the day is going to come soon where we won't have a Taker anymore. And it's getting close. He's 50 years old. He lost last year. I think that should have been the rolling point for him for his retirement. For basically, I think he should have come into this match with Bray, lost, have Bray the new face of fear and take on this whole new persona and streak thing of his own if he wanted to, and then Taker should have come out to Raw on the Monday and go, I'm clearly not as good as I used to be, I'm going to give this one more go, if I cannot do it I will retire, and then him and Sting can lock up and go next year. Career versus career, Taker loses, goes out on his back and goes, I'm done. And I think that would have been a good idea. I generally think half the reason that Taker came this year is because Vince is pushing him too much. It's like, you got to come back, you got to do it, you got to do it. And Vince knows he's got Mark's balls in a vice, because if any push comes to shove, Mark will do anything for him. Yeah. And that's not good, because I feel like sometimes Vince takes advantage of that, and I don't like it. I feel like, give the guy more than a year off. You know what I mean? I
think I do agree in a way, because it is one of those things, unfortunately, that with guys like me, that Vince might think, without The Undertaker, who's a staple of WrestleMania, we won't get as big as a viewer.
But you will.
Shit. But you will, because it's WrestleMania.
It's WrestleMania. People realise that eventually that day is going to come. And if you want to try and replace it with something, why not replace it with Bray? Yeah. If there's anybody on the current roster that can do this new streak thing and be the new face of fear, the people that everybody is scared of, it's Bray. Yeah. It is Bray Wyatt. He's got that kind of persona.
The thing is, at the minute, it was always, for the last 10 years at least, who's going to be the guy to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
It did start to get to the point where the match was bigger than the pay-per-view.
Yeah, and I get why he might have Vince...
And that maybe Vince... that's probably why it got into Vince's head and he goes, right, Lesnar's ending it.
Yeah, but at the same time, as a fan of Bray Wyatt, I will always be interested in who Bray faces at WrestleMania. But even before the streak ended, when Brock Lesnar came back, I was always right, who's going to be the guy to step into the ring with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? So in a way, Brock Lesnar's the new staple of WrestleMania.
Yeah, he's there every single year taking on someone new or someone awesome. Yeah. You guarantee the second you hear that music, you're going to get a good match.
Yeah, it's never even... Well, isn't it? But usually it's not the fact, right, who can beat Brock. It's like, who's man enough to take a beating
Who's got the
Brock?
fucking balls?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
anyway, the Bray Taker match.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a good match. It was better than last year. It was less sloppy. The pacing still wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
Because it was a big dude and an old man. But it was fun. It was good. It had the better flavour in it. Ultimately, I think it split 50-50 down the middle of what people wanted.
Yeah. The Undertaker...
I just feel like, what are they going to do with Bray now that he's lost?
Yeah, it'll be, we might see what happens on Raw tonight. But with The Undertaker, it was one of them where, even though on one side it's shown that age is still physically taking it away from him, he did kind of show that, not because of the loss, but maybe because of his performance last year, he was like, don't worry, that's a one-off. Even though I can't, aren't as physically good as I can go, I can do better than what I did last year. So it was kind of, even though we went against Brock, it was kind of redemption for himself to go, oh, I should really make up for what I did last year, and so, give him quite a good match. And he did. So, take a win.
Yes.
I'm happy.
So, finally, we're on to the main event.
I know you're going to like this, so you can take
this. Yes. Oh, Christ. This was better than I could have hoped. I honestly thought it was just going to be a standard match, Lesnar that dominates, and
it kind of was for a while.
Yeah, like I say, it was Reigns versus Lesnar for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Reigns came out, Lesnar came out. Every time you hear Lesnar's music, it's just like someone's going to get hurt.
Yeah,
someone is going to get hurt.
The Advocate was there as well,
Yeah.
Mr. Paul Heyman.
Yes. One thing made me laugh was that the pyros went off late. You know when he does
Yeah.
the pyros go down the
Probably
thing.
actually
They went off and he was already halfway down the
Probably
ring.
the one fuck up of the night.
That was the only
Yeah.
fuck up. It's
Damn
like,
it, fuck!
But you can just, I can kind of see Brock's eyes and like his face and he's walking out. It's like
Twats.
dicks.
Yeah.
It's like could have been an awesome moment.
Bad
that.
timing.
But yeah, never mind. Yeah, the match kind of kicked in. We had Paul Heyman introducing Lesnar instead of the other announcer, which was fun, obviously.
Yeah.
It was kind of for the first half, at least. It was very one-sided. It was just like the Cena Lesnar match at SummerSlam. He was just suplexing him, F5ing him, punching the shit out of him, throwing him all over the ring.
Roman did make him bleed first.
Roman made him bleed. He put him. Roman got a couple
right.
of quick bursts. He pushed him into a post and literally
Pissed
pissed with blood. The main burst that Reigns got was he got about 2 Superman punches in and a couple of spears, all in the space of like a minute.
Yeah.
And you thought, fuck me, they're gonna go with him. Obviously Lesnar kicked out and all that kind of stuff and everything.
Yeah.
It was a good solid match. Like, again, Lesnar was just every chance he got to take him, he was dominating him.
Suplex repeat.
Yeah, suplex repeat, all that kind of stuff. The one thing we really liked was, which I think did well for Reigns, the fact that he was getting beaten up so much, but he was smiling while he was getting beaten up.
On, keep going.
He wasn't like going in pain, going, oh my god, I've made the biggest mistake of my life doing this. He was going, I expected this.
Yeah,
I knew this was going to come. So he's just looking at Lesnar, smiling, going, hit me again. Come on.
Getting frustrated.
It's like getting frustrated, yeah. And it was good, and they did well for his character because it means he goes.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah, he's a tough dude, and he's kind of smiling, going, look, I asked for this. You know what I mean? I knew what I was getting into, so just fucking hit me. You know what I mean? Let's do this.
I can't remember how they both went down.
They did. I can't remember what it was that happened.
It was the F5 after the spear, and Lesnar kind of just collapsed.
Yes, he did, because it was after a big beatdown.
Yeah. Now you're still bleeding.
He was still bleeding. Everything. He did the F5, and they're both on the floor. Now, we thought going into this match, originally it was going to be Reigns that won because Lesnar was out the door. But when he signed with WWE again, as we explained in our chit chat the other day, it made it interesting. It made it think, well, Lesnar's going to retain this because he's signed for 3 years.
But it's a multi-year contract. It could
So,
be 3.
you know what I mean? It's like it makes you think, well, he's going to retain them because what will you do with Lesnar otherwise? The thing that changed the game was Seth Rollins.
Mr. Money in the Bank.
His music hit and he ran down by himself. He didn't have any other jailer security. He didn't have no Big Show, no Kane. He went down all by himself, which you've got to respect. And he cashed in his Money in the Bank and turned it into a triple threat match. It was wicked. It was just so cool that exchanging blows and everything. He was going for. I think he got a curb stomp on Lesnar, but
it was weird. He hit the curb stomp and then kind of went to check that Reigns was still down on the outside.
yeah, he needed to make sure that Reigns wasn't going to interfere, basically.
Went for a second one where Lesnar caught him in the F5.
Yeah, and we thought that's it.
Lesnar's going to retain.
Roman out of nowhere speared Lesnar, knocking them
Seth
both.
Still on the shoulders.
Seth on the shoulders, knocking them to the floor. And as he speared him, obviously he was down on his knees. Seth got straight back up, curb stomped Reigns, and fucking pinned him.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins is your new WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He cashed in successfully at WrestleMania.
Whether you like
first
it or not.
time ever.
We know Seth's the bad guy, but
Fuck me, he's a good wrestler.
yeah, he's the future. Well, it's a present now, but yeah, he created history. First guy to ever cash in at WrestleMania.
Amazing, and it was a good way to do it because it means that technically Lesnar didn't drop the belt.
So it doesn't.
It wasn't Lesnar's fault. He wasn't the one that got pinned.
Yeah.
Seth was smart and going, I'm going to go for the weaker of the two and curb stomp him.
Yeah, he went for Lesnar at first.
He did go for Lesnar at first, but then he took his opportunity. He took his moment and went for Reigns and pinned Reigns instead. And it was fine because you knew it makes it fine. It doesn't take anything away from Reigns because you know he was absolutely beaten up from Lesnar. It doesn't take anything away from Lesnar because you know he wasn't the one that got pinned. And then you got a new WWE Championship in Rollins, and you can still now have a rivalry between Reigns and Rollins.
Yeah.
I know that obviously Lesnar's probably going to have his rematch clause and everything, maybe on Raw tonight, maybe on the pay-per-view, I don't know. But I think over time, with Lesnar's contract being a part-time contract,
They'll face each other again.
They will face each other again, but I think the main build-up for the next few pay-per-views is going to be Reigns and Rollins rivalry with the championship on the line, which is fine because again it gives it a chance for Reigns to build up more to get to the point where we're going, yes, all right, he's fine now, he's in for this, and it also means that the title can change hands a lot and it'll be a lot more interesting.
We have a full-time champion.
Yeah, we have a full-time champion.
Which is good now.
But Christ, it was a hell of a match. And it's just, I said from the start of the night, I was like, if Seth loses to Orton, he's cashing in tonight. I thought if he doesn't lose to Orton, then there's no reason to cash in tonight because he's already had a good victory. But I thought, because I'm just trying to think of Vince's mind, the way he thinks of stuff.
Yeah, Seth kind of going,
so it's kind of like, you're going to lose here, but you're going to win here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Seth's character going like, well, I need to redeem myself for that loss. I have this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And he cashed it in successfully.
It does open a lot of doors because obviously whatever happens tonight we'll see, but Lesnar with Heyman could come out all pissed off, go, how dare you, I want my rematch.
Yep.
Roman can kind of go, you got involved in my business, I want that belt, I want to kick your ass. Randy Orton could still be a factor.
Yeah, because Randy Orton beat Rollins early in the night.
It doesn't mean that he's done with him though.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That means that if he's beaten the champ, or the one that would become the champ, he's got any right to be going against him.
Yeah.
I mean, my guess is, I don't think it'll happen, but it'd be cool if it did. If it was a fatal four-way, no DQ at the Extreme Rules. That would be cool.
Yeah, depends on the schedule.
We haven't had a fatal four-way in a while.
No, apart from that tag team match.
No, but I meant for the championship.
Yeah.
We haven't had it for a while. Having those four would be fun.
Well, yeah.
It would be a lot of fun.
It was one of them where I will admit, when Lesnar caught Seth in the F5, I was kind of like, oh my god, yes, he's going to do it. So, in a way, I was rooting for Lesnar, but as soon as the 3 count in on Seth, I was still cheering my ass off.
I was still really happy. If it's not going to be Lesnar, I'm happy it was Rollins, because as long as it wasn't Reigns, because yes, Reigns held his own, he didn't damage his character in any way, but I just don't think he was quite ready yet.
Yeah, I think he knew that as well.
Yeah, and Rollins is a better wrestler at the moment.
He's been the man for the last 12 months.
He is. He's just, even when he's losing, he's still putting on a hell of a match. Like we said with the Randy and Rollins match earlier in this pay-per-view, it was one of the best matches of the night, and it didn't have any stipulation, didn't have any,
solid wrestling.
It's just a regular match, and it was a great one.
Yeah. So, good. I never have doubts about WrestleMania, because we always know that it's going to be the biggest pay-per-view of the year. But obviously last year, 30, a milestone, it was that 31 isn't a milestone, and they're going to make as much effort as they did last year with this one.
They're kind of we can have this as a throwaway.
But just as good.
It was just as good, if not a tiny bit better, maybe.
Yeah.
Because there was a low, like last year, there was a couple of matches that were just kind of like, but there was literally just one match really. Yeah. It was the Cena Rusev match. It was like, but the rest of it we were fine with.
Yeah.
Everything was good.
Yeah. Well, just to wrap it up, great WrestleMania, and the other bits we didn't mention were the performances by Kid Ink or something like that, and they had the Hall of Fame guys. Everyone got a bit emotional when they mentioned Conor again.
Yeah.
But if you don't get emotional, you're not human.
Yeah, you're made of fucking stone if you don't get filled up when people talk about Conor, because Christ.
Yeah, what a kid. What a kid.
I say we dedicate this review to Conor.
We will. There you go, Conor, the crusher. But, final remark, we went to Birmingham to watch this. They do an event.
Big screens, food, drinks, t-shirts.
Walkabout. I just want to thank, is it
Relentless pay-per-views?
Yeah, Relentless Wrestling pay-per-view. I think that's it. All Relentless Wrestling events.
Yeah.
Well,
one of them.
Yeah, it's Relentless Wrestling something. I just want to thank them for, they've had problems in the past with their Sky and the locations and
service,
but they were very good to us. To apologise for something that happened last time, they gave us free hoodies. The food came almost straight away.
It was served quickly. There was
no problems.
Satellite problems.
No, even to make the effort to get the network so we could watch the pre-show, but smart enough in case with connection problems to switch to Sky Box Office to watch it with no problem. Was great. So great service by Walkabout. Just a great event held by Relentless Wrestling, whatever you guys are. Just want to say thanks for that. That's cool. So if you guys are interested in doing that kind of thing, get in touch with them. and see what they
it's
can
a
do
lot
for
of fun.
It's a great night out.
It's a great atmosphere when you've got 200 people screaming at the TV.
Yeah, it isn't just a load of people just sitting there in silence like you would
you're
at
literally
home.
screaming. It's like
being there
when
almost.
Rollins won it. Everybody was jumped to their feet and just screaming at the TV, just going, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, it's kind of like when you go to like a festival or something. You know, with the amount of bands that are there are some people that are there for other things that you're not interested in. But obviously at a concert, like if you just go for one band, everyone's there for the same reason, so you're going to get on with everyone. That's exactly how it is in wrestling.
Yeah.
The place is full of wrestling fans, so everyone's kind of like, oh, this is awesome. You don't even know people by name, you're talking about the stuff, having pipes with them. It's a great way to make friends. If not, maybe even get laid by someone. There's women there as well.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
But yeah, it was a great pay-per-view. Really enjoyed it. Once again, WrestleMania just dominated.
Steals the show every time.
And it was great. It was a great way to end. We're really happy that Rollins has cashed in and got his title. And we're looking forward to the next few months to see how things go.
Yeah. If this is still happening next year, you might not see me because my plan is to go to Texas to see WrestleMania.
Yes, he might be actually going to WrestleMania. So
enjoy yourself!
You won't be able to review WrestleMania with us.
Yeah,
maybe we could do it via satellite. I'll bring it via satellite.
Well, maybe you could get the original Rock and Roll Nerds member to actually turn up once in a while. Stix.
Yeah, you'll be cold and everything.
Yeah. But yeah, actually, that's the ironic thing. You probably make it tonight, but he's not letting
He's got a cold.
Yeah.
He's got a massive cold.
If you follow Snart...
I don't want a cold.
No. So, I'm the wrestling guy as well. So
yes, it was an awesome pay-per-view. So, like and subscribe. Find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter. Comment below what you thought of the pay-per-view, what you thought of the match, what was your favourite match, what match didn't you like, what did you think of what we thought. So, yeah.
Even let us know what you think of us.
Yeah.
Do something nasty.
Yeah. If you're going to comment saying you're a dick, then don't bother.
Yeah. So stab it.
Stab it.
Right. All right.
Yes, it's been a pleasure.
Yes. So, yes.
Cheers.
And good night if you're watching this at night.
Hi guys, thanks for watching that. If you like that, then please like and subscribe down below. Also, if you want to watch another chit chat, click here. If you want to watch another review or top 10, click here. And also, you can find us on Facebook. Cheers guys, thanks for watching.